End of the week, let's do a catch up on NVIDIA following yesterday's analysis. I'll link that at the end so that we can, we've got a reference point for what we were thinking yesterday. And let's just jump into it. So let's get the range algo going. Okay, we don't need the MAs yet. Let's just, so the algo has given us the kind of the range highs. Let's just divide that up into quadrants. Okay, so the algo actually has already got these levels set out. We're just using this so that we can have the lines a little bit thicker. Let's get a little bit tighter on this. Okay, that looks good. Let's just switch that off for now. We're on daily. Let's skip down to the 4 hour. So yesterday, Thursday, was a really bullish day actually overall. So we did our analysis at the pre-market, and we're actually at the same price we were at the pre-market yesterday, pre-market today. So our thesis was that this 480, which is part of the algo derived levels, that this 480 was resistance now, or likely to become resistance, as we've sold down below it and we've come back. And yesterday, true to form, we busted through it, spent most of the day above that level. And then going into the close, we closed below the 480. So this level of 480 is still something that the market needs to contend with. And while we are intraday above it is bullish, but we need to stay above it for continuation higher, maybe target this gap at some point. But we did close below. So we are validating that this level is important. So the price has danced around it here, and then we close below it. So thesis still remains really that this level here, even though intraday we got above it, thesis remains that this is now potentially a support resistance level of interest. At the minute we're below it. We tried to get over it, couldn't close, so now we're below it. So it's going to remain resistance in my eyes until we close above it and hold above it for well, it looks like really, I mean intraday we held above it for quite some time. So if we go to the 4 hour, how did we fare? Well, we didn't really hold above it. So let's say as a bare minimum, we need to hold at least 2 4 hour candles above the 480, 480.76 for it to be considered a potential resistance, support resistance flip into support and look for higher prices. Up until then, we are trading below it. We're now pre-market at 477, and that could change. We could, open above or open considerably below. So don't always pay attention too much to the pre-market. But as it stands, we're now in this trading range until either the 474 level, this level breaks. We've tested it, support pushed away, couldn't get over. So to the upside, got to close above here. If we start coming back down to the 474, we've got to be careful really not to get too bullish, because there is a risk at that point that we then start trading down towards the 468 level. So the overall kind of bias that we could see a retracement down to, that's not actually helpful. Let's go a bit higher. Yeah, that's more like it. So the thesis that we could see a big, for the rest this some point this year, a retracement down to the 23% or maybe even the 38. That thesis for the year still holds. Until really we get above the all-time highs and sort of start, kind of pushing higher. At that point, yeah, then, we'd look to negate that for now. NVIDIA, wouldn't bet against it. There is also a potential swing here that we could argue is from here to here. We could swing up to 534 if we continue to consolidate here, maybe create a bull flag, some sort of bull flag. That is also possible. So wouldn't discount the fact that we could just base here and then go higher. There is so much momentum behind this chart that wouldn't surprise me at all. So for the time being, probably level to level on the intraday basis is something that I'm going to be looking to focus on. And as we either move up the levels, recapture these, or we move down them, that's probably the way that I'm going to just view the market. I think earnings for NVIDIA is some point in February, from memory. I'll have to check that. So we've got a bit of time really for price to do all sorts of things. And like I said yesterday, NVIDIA does have a habit of scaring people out and then kind of making the big moves. So, okay, so recap. This level 480 is still the one to contend with, and we're basically just dancing around. Let's just clone this actually. Let's move this up here. At the minute, that is a pivot point. We could either trade up to 486 or trade down to 474, but this is the point of control now for trading by looks of things. While we're below it, we'll be looking for 474. If we get above and we close above, we'll be looking for 486. Generally, the market, if we look at futures, Nasdaq futures, the E-minis, we've had quite a lot of bearish price action really. So all red days so far. So I'm not really surprised that there's a little bit of bearishness around NVIDIA, although yesterday it was really intraday. It was outperforming quite a lot of the Magnificent Seven. Okay, let's keep up with NVIDIA. It's looking like it's potentially going to be one of the stronger assets to trade. It's definitely got some volatility there. If you want to see more of these videos and keep up with NVIDIA, do subscribe. Catch you on the next video.